So, this all happened to me about 10 years ago in 2004. I had decided to go solo camping. Nothing too crazy, just wanted to get away from life for a few days and enjoy the wilderness. All I brought was a tent, some matches, a fishing rod, my rifle, and couple other miscellaneous things for preparing and storing food. The campsite itself was pretty secluded. And for the safety of any who reads this, I won't be sharing that location. I got to the campground around noon on a Friday. It was pretty nice. Had a small creek just downhill of me, a nice flat area surrounded by pine trees that went on for miles. There was a small foot trail leading to it about 3 miles long. Only a 45-minute walk from where I parked. It was somewhat up a mountain. Not very high, but I was well above sea level. First thing I did was set up my one-man tent. I didn't have a sleeping bag or anything, and I completely intended on sleeping on the ground. I had done it before, and luckily for me there wasn't much gravel or rocks under me. Just the soft earth. I went out and got some dead wood for a fire. Got some rocks to make a fire ring and set up for a fire that I'd light after it got dark. It was pretty warm, so there was no need for it during the day. I wasn't too hungry that day, so I didn't go and try to catch some fish or anything. I just chilled around my campsite till sunset. Sunset. That's when it started. After the sun had evaded the sky, the temperature dropped drastically. I don't know how cold it got, but I'd say it was in the 30s. I got my matches out and lit the fire. I had even dragged over a log to sit on by the fire. About an hour after sunset, a thick heavy fog rolled in. So thick I couldn't see my hand in front of my face. And an awful stench. I couldn't tell what it was. Maybe a dead animal. Whatever it was, at least it wasn't too strong. I decided it was time to go to bed around then. The orange glow of the fire barely visible through the fog. I thought it wasn't too windy, and the area had got a lot of rain recently, so I was gonna let it burn itself out. I climbed into my tent and left it unzipped so the heat from the fire could blow in. I laid there for about 30 minutes before I started to doze off. I woke up to an awful screech. It sounded like a woman crying for help. I jumped up and grabbed my rifle from beside the tent. I have no idea what time it was, but the moon was almost directly above me, so I'd guess around midnight. The fog had mostly rolled out, and the fire was still smoldering slightly. I stood there, waiting and listening for another scream.